Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Ta-da! I'm very excited about where I'm at right now with this bike. Some of you noticed a few videos back that I had resuscitated the Darkstar, and I told you guys that I was going to repurpose it to create a different type of content than I've ever created, and today I'm going to share with you what that content is. But first, let me tell you a little bit about the build, because I've done some things that are a little bit different. It still has Campagnolo Super Record 11 on there. The cockpit is pretty much, well, it's actually exactly the same as I had it before, the Dacia Super Leggera. One of the things that's different is I went one by, and this manufacturer, Stone, I don't even remember how I got in contact with them. They make narrow wide chain rings for the Campagnolo BCD Spider. And this is a 48 tooth chain ring, which plays very nice with me and my pedaling, and it works brilliantly. No chain dropping or anything like that. I've got a 1129 cassette on there now. It's actually a Miche, the Italian manufacturer that makes components kind of like parallel to Campagnolo. It's super light. It's a race one that I'm supposed to be using on a limited basis, but you know, you only live once, so don't always save the good stuff for later. Use it while you can. And the other really cool thing is that Windspace reached out to me and they said, hey, we want to send out a set of wheels for you to review. They sent out these Hyper S23 with the steel bearings. Amazing. The R45, which is 40 millimeters in the front, 50 millimeters in the back. And with that, I want to say something about having an opportunity to have manufacturers send products for me to review. And there's been a whole lot of conversations about that on YouTube, both from content creators like myself and also people sounding off in the comment section about the credibility or the integrity of person receiving products to be able to review. And you know, this new model of manufacturers sending things out to have normal people like myself, because I'm not a racer, and I already told you guys I'm not a mechanic or an engineer. I only know what I know, and that's how a bike feels to me based on my years of experience, and I know what feels good to me in terms of quality and what feels like crap. And that's why I try to stay away from numbers and things like that in my reviews and just say this is how they feel doing XYZ. And I have a series of things that I like to talk about. But in my last video, somebody made a remark about me saying that 50 millimeter front wheel set was not getting blown around by the wind. I've got no reason to say that they didn't get blown around by the wind if they did get blown around the wind. In fact, I even prefaced my remark by saying my expectation is that a set of 50 millimeter wheels are going to get blown around by the wind. I report what the wheels did in the conditions in which I was riding. They did not get blown around by the wind. I also had a conversation with a friend of mine, Hugo, who has been riding Windspace, their frames and their wheels for about the last 2 or 3 years. He came up to me on Wednesday during the ride and he was like, you know, I saw your video, and he's like, I don't know what these manufacturers are doing. They've certainly figured something out in terms of the design of these wheels, because he rides a set of 67 and he says, yes, he does feel the wind, but not like he has on other wheels. And I'm like, that's exactly how I feel. So the whole idea is that there's a benefit to me because I get an opportunity to get products to create content with. The manufacturer has a reduction in their marketing cost. Hopefully they'll pass that on to us, the consumers. And then you, the consumer, you have an opportunity to at least get an idea of how it feels from a Joe Blow like myself, right? So I think it's a win-win-win deal. If I sell out my integrity or my credibility just because somebody's sending me something to review and I'm not telling the truth, then the whole thing kind of collapses. And like with the last wheel set that I reviewed, I was really trying to find a fault with these wheels, and I just couldn't, other than what I shared about the rim bed not being as nice as it could be. That really was the only thing that I could find as a fault. But one of the things that it made me step back and reflect on was, it's like, Lewis, when was the last time that you've ridden or used a cycling product that was manufactured over the last 5 years that was bad or didn't work as it was intended to work. And I was like, I really can't think of something that has been manufactured within that period of time that I was like, oh, this was a total crap. I've had things that were not to my liking or my preference, but I think that we've gotten to the point now with tolerances in manufacturing and design that the products are so sound, they're so solid. I'm not saying everything is perfect and is void from scrutiny, but what I'm saying is, in my experience, I really haven't come across a product that I felt was like it was a total dog. So that's my rant on that. How do we plan to use the Darkstar going forward? I have 3, maybe 4 friends that I have identified that fit this bike who are cycling enthusiasts, but they ride carbon. Well, I have one friend that he also rides aluminum. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them use the bike for a week or 2 weeks for their normal weekly routine, and then let me know what their ride impression was of this bike, a modern steel frame with modern components and ridiculously well-built wheels. And I think that's going to be a very fun exchange. We'll either have a chat while we're on the bike, or we're going to sit down for coffee and have them tell me what they thought, what they hated, what they liked. I think that'll be cool. So I'm looking forward to doing that kind of content. Cyclists of different experience, all very experienced, but they ride their bikes differently. And one of them is going to be a young lady. Bet you didn't see that coming. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. The WindSpace Hyper S23, I'm going to be sharing real soon my unboxing, initial ride impression. Then I'll do a long-term review. They're crazy wheels, carbon spokes, steel bearings, not ceramic bearings. In fact, get in there. Still breaking them in, but they're great. I'm loving them. I love the sound, the feel, the performance of them so far. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Review on that is coming up real soon. So that's my rant and what I wanted to talk about. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel. Hey, if you're a recurring viewer and you have not subscribed, help us out. Do us a solid. Hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy this content, please give us a like. And as always, our aim here at the channel is to inform, instruct, inspire. Be blessed.